Hey guys, welcome back to Selenium with Java, September 2023 batch online training session 9. In today's sessions, I will cover the remaining important topics from the TestNG. In the last session, I already covered what is TestNG all about, what are the different annotation of TestNG, how you can do the set up the priority, and how you can do the sequential execution, how to disable or enable test, how to execute a single test case multiple time, how to get the some sort of report from the TestNG, how to convert a normal Java project to a TestNG project, and what is the importance of testng.xml file through which you can execute multiple classes from multiple different packages of a same project, right, simultaneously. In today's session, I will cover the importance of group, right? And whenever I am talking about the group, also you can understand how to include and exclude group during execution in TestNG, and how to execute only the failed test cases with or without listener. What is the importance of TestNG parameterization? What is DataProvider in TestNG? What are listener in TestNG? And how we can do parallel test execution in Selenium WebDriver using TestNG. So what is concept of group? I think whenever I was demonstrate the importance of TestNG, I covered that one. Still, I will repeat it once more time. So suppose say in case you are having 1000 test cases, but in the real time you will not always running those 1000 test cases every time, every day, for every requirement. Instead of that, sometimes you need to run only maybe the sanity suit, sometimes mook suit, sometimes integration suit, sometimes maybe the application wise, right? You are having 5 application, one application got changes, so only you need to execute those only application related changes, test cases. So how you can segregate it? So that is the reason first you need to group the test cases. So out of 1000 test cases, you can group the test cases based on the testing type, based on the application, right? Based on the different other circumstances as well. And a single test case can be grouped under multiple umbrella. Once you define the group, next time in case you want to run for a particular condition, so you can select the group, and automatically once you select the group, first it will filter out the test cases from the test suite, only those relevant where the group is matching. And after that, based on the group, using testng.xml file, you can execute those relevant test cases wherever they are pertaining to the expected group. So group in TestNG denotes the process of grouping different test cases or test method together into a straightforward group and running this test or method together by just running the group in a single command through this test or method are belonging to different classes as well from a single project. Grouping test is another very good feature of testing, using which user can create group of test method. User can create a group of test method based on functionality and feature, or based on modules, or based on testing type like functional, regression, integration, UAT, MOOC, etc. This way, user can differentiate specific group test method from all test method. So how can you define the group? First, you already know, right? In any of the normal project, what you can do, you can create a TestNG class. So I created the TestNG class, session 9 TestNG. How you can create that TestNG class? Instead of normal Java class, you can select, right click new, you can select other, and there will be option called TestNG class, and you can next, and you can give some name under the package and under the folder. That is the way you will be creating the TestNG class. And once the TestNG class will be created, there will be no main method required, right? Instead of that, at the rate test annotation will be called the test cases, and there are a lot of other annotation like before test, after test, before method, after method, which can assist your test cases or at the rate test annotation. So here I have created simple 4 test cases: method 1, method 2, method 3, method 4. Now what I did, inside the test, right, I have given some group name. So how can you define the group? First bracket groups equal to, you can assign single test case to the multiple group, right? Second bracket within the double quote, in case you want to give multiple group, you can give comma. Like if you want to add one more group, you can give comma, say other called like UAT. Okay, that is the way you can define the group. So you can have n number of test cases and you can define the group. That will be your one-time activity. Just in the functional testing, right? Also you need to segregate that this test case under which module, some module functionality. That is the way, similar way you can also go with the testing type, go with the module, go with the application. That is the way you can group, right? One test case can be grouped under 4 or 5 different category. So once the grouping is done, next time you need to go to the TestNG XML file. So this is the pattern: should name, test name, and under the classes tag there can be multiple class. So here this is the package name, right? Package name dot the class name. So for this session 9 TestNG training is the package name, and session 9 TestNG is the class name. That is the way you need to execute it. Now if you simply run your using the TestNG.xml file, it will execute everything, right? All the test method, and it will pass or fail based on the expectation. You could see for method got run, method 1, method 2, method 3. Though you have given it group, but now it is not filtering out. Group is not getting filtered. So why? Because, right, I have defined the group, but I did not having filtering while execution. So how I need to filter it? So I need to go to the TestNG.xml file and I need to set the group related part. So where you need to set, groups are specified in TestNG.xml file before class, and following syntax can be used. Before class means after the test, before classes tag, you need to add these couple of lines: group run, include run, groups. So that part I will simply copy it from my sheet and I will paste it before the classes tag. Okay, so it's written everything. Before the classes tag, I will simply add it. Okay, now what I want to include means you want to run those, filter those test cases first based on the group name. So what is the group? Suppose say I want to execute based on the UAT test. Okay, so here simply using the double quote you need to give the UAT test. Now do not run it. Now go to the test class, right? Class. So for here method 1 is also following matching with the UAT. Method 2 is not following UAT. Method 3 also not, and method 4 also UAT. So how many test method are matching with the UAT group name? So 2. One is method 1 and one is method 4. So now in case I am trying to run my test cases using the group UAT test, I should only execute 2 out of 4, which is matching with the group UAT test. Now you could see you'll be getting the desired result here, method 1 and method 4. So it is not running all the test case. It is first filtering out the group based on the group. So that is the way include. And also I can exclude it, EX. So what is exclude means? So wherever UAT tag is not present, those test cases will be executed. Suppose say I already segregated the group based on the application 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. But say instead of application 5, all applications got impacted. So I can exclude application 5 so that application 1, 2, 3, 4 will be executed. So that is the way here. It will exclude method 1 and method 4 and it will execute method 2 and method 3. Now you could see the result. Method 2 and 3 got executed. That is the way console is also coming. So that is the way you can include or exclude the group. You can also use multiple line also for including, excluding. Suppose I can exclude UAT wherever present. I can include or exclude other thing also. So I don't want to run regression. So it will only run test method 2. It will also filter out, remove the regression also. So that is the way you can use multiple include and exclude tag under the groups category in the group tag. So it will only execute one test case because method 2 is not having UAT or regression. If you use include, so wherever, right, UAT or regression test is available, those test cases will be executed. Now 3 test cases will be executed. Method 1 and method 4 UAT test is available, and for the regression test is available in the method 3, that is the result is executed. Okay. Now next thing. So suppose say sometime I am having something, right, called application A, application B, application C, application D, application E. I want to run all application related tasks. So is it possible to write 5 times, like in case you are having 20, right, application A, B, C, D, F. So it will just kind of create longevity and sometime I can mistake. Wherever application is a common term. So after application, whatever is present, I want to execute all of them. So what is my syntax? So you need to use include name and then whatever starting part you can give it then dot and star, so that wherever it is starting with that particular keyword, remaining word it will not check and it will execute everything. So say here I want to start. So see here where something is mentioned test application 1 2 3 like that. So I want to start wherever test app word is present and remaining thing it will not check. So here it will execute this one method 3, it will also execute method 2, right? It will also execute method 1 because test app word is present in these three method. So what I will do, I will do dot star. So wherever test tab word will be starting with the group syntax, remaining thing will not be checked because dot star means everything. It will execute wherever the group name is starting with test tab. You could see now method 1, method 2 and method 3 got run. But method 4 did not run. Why? Because there is no such word available for the method 4. But wherever method 1, method 2 and method 3 got run because test tab word is common. It does not checking test tab 1, 2 or 3 because it is checking test AP part, that part. So after that dot star, whatever is available it will execute it. So that is the way, right? You can try to use the group. So it will help you first filter out the condition whatever you want to check, and after that it will execute your test cases accordingly. So that is the way group will play a pivotal role in the real time whenever you want to use TestNG. Next one, how to execute only fail test case in TestNG. There is two way. One, you can use listener class which will be completely automated, and one you no need to use the listener class. Without listener class you also can execute it the fail test cases. So most of the time test cases might fail not of the defect. Test case can be failed sometime maybe your internet connectivity went moved, I mean not there for 2 or 3 minutes. So that time whatever test case is trying to execute, everything will be fail. Sometimes synchronization issue was there, sometimes internet connectivity speed was slow, sometimes you want to interact with some file which is already open, so you will not able to do it, like all this stuff would happen. Okay, but user need to execute the test script again and again. So what you need to do, suppose say you are having 500 test cases and out of which 20 test cases got passed and 480 sorry 28 test case 20 test cases got failed and 480 test cases got passed. But next time if you want to run, so it will run again 500 test cases, so again might be 400 test cases pass, 100 test cases might fail due to some other issue. So you are just simply wasting the overall total time. But here, what is the objective? In case some test case got passed, you no need to execute that day again. Just you need to concentrate on the failed test cases, and you can rerun them multiple times to see that whether there is not a false failure. That is the real time failure, right? Because of the defect or because of the other issue. False failure means because of the some file open, some synchronization issue, some timeout issue, some internet connectivity issue, some suppose a shutdown issue, all this stuff might happen. So I want to avoid the re-execution of the past test case again and again. So what is my approach? There's two approach. One is without listener class and one is with listener class. With listener class I'll cover later. So here, right? So say there are 4 test cases and one test case I can fail it. So I have given the assertion failure. So that test case will fail. Now based on the group criteria, 3 test cases will be running and one will be failing. So here it is taking couple of second time, but in case you are having 1500 2000 test cases, it might take 1 or 2 day time even also. And if you want to execute again and again, it will take some time. You could see 3 passed, 1 failed based on the group criteria. Now if you want to run again, so it will again execute all the test cases. So you need to wait for again 1 more day, couple of hours. So that is the way you are just wasting your time, right? But you are not getting the desired analysis properly. So every time it will run all the test cases. But my intention is that I don't want to repeat the execution for the past whatever already passed. So I just simply want to execute the failed test cases. So what I need to do, I can refresh the project, refresh it, and there will be test output folder already mentioned in the PPT, right? And there is an option called testng.fail, testng-fail.xml. If you just double click it and if you try to run it from here, it will only execute the failed test case. You could see it is only executing the failed test case and you are getting the desired result. What is the failure reason, all this stuff. because of this failure. You could see here, this is the result is coming, expected 12 and found 10. So now you can easily debug the what is the failure instead of running all the test cases again and again. And I can fix my code here and I can execute it so that failed test case will be passed. Right? That is the way I can debug easily. And if you run it, only the failed test case will be run and now it will be passed. So that is the one-time solution, which will be what doing it manually. You could see now it got passed. So easiest way, instead of 1000 test cases, you can just get 10 or 15, 20 test case failure. You can debug them, you can fix the code, you can run them only isolated mode. Out of which, out of 20, 15 more test cases got passed. So 5 test cases again you can run on 1 or 2 more times, 3 more times. So again maybe 2 test cases pass and 3 test cases is real time failure. You can analyze this and log as a defect. So that is the way it will easiest your work through the process, whatever through the kind of features, whatever already available in the TestNG. Okay, I will take a pause, guys. So any question from these two topic? Okay, cool. Next one is parameterization. So I told the two concept, right, in the first session, TestNG session. One is called parameterization and one is called data kind of driven testing, right? So what is the parameterization means? Using the same parameter data, I want to execute multiple test cases. That is called parameterization. And what is data driven testing? Means, right, using different variety of the data, I want to execute same test case again and again and again. So that is the two difference part. So sometime, most of the time, interviewer will definitely ask that question. What is the difference between parameterization and data driven testing? Why we use them? So in the real time, suppose the same, I want to create 100 data with different variation, but I will be executing only one test case and where data will vary. So that is the real time example. You want to create policy, you want to create some claims in the industry, so you need to use it, right? That same flow of the claim, same flow of the policy with different variety of the data. Instead of say kind of one more brand I want to create for other brand, but that is the variation of the data. But same test case I will be executing, right? Instead of option A, I want to create with option B. So, but same test case I will be executing. But what is parameterization? Means suppose say, right, you want to do some operation called addition, subtraction, multiplication, deletion, right, or other operation also, greater equal to less equal to all this stuff. But with two same parameter, like say two same variable A and B. But your objective is multiple combination, but with the same value or same parameter. So you will be using the parameterization. So one of the important feature of TestNG is parameterization. These features allow user to pass parameters to test as argument. This is supported by using parameter annotation. The parameter annotation can be used by any of the before, after, or test annotation method also. It can be used to initialize variable and use them in a class, test, or maybe for the whole test execution. It can work for integer, double, float, or string as well. So how you can use the parameterization? So let's try to create some test cases. Let's comment out this part for now. This is not required, and let's comment out those test cases, and let's create something for the parameterization. So say @test, say public void, say add. I can give some two number, integer A, comma integer B. SYSO, say A plus B. That is the value I want to print it out. So that is the one thing, right? Similar way, I want to create two more method here, say multiply. So it will be, formula will be changed, but same parameter. And then I can use called divide, and here it will be slash. Okay. So now, if you want to run it, it will not be giving any result because there is no value at all, right? Just you have tried to give something, you could see there is a failure. So what is the reason for this failure? because there is method is there, but there is no value, right? Cannot inject it, the test and all this stuff. So in case you want to do the parameterization, what are the step? First you need to define at the rate parameter. Okay, so in case there is a two thing, you can need to use two parameter. In case you are having three, four, you need to use three parameter as well. Sometime in case the value is same, so you can use only one parameter, and because the value is same. So what I will do here, okay, at the rate parameter. That is the annotation coming from the TestNG. Then first bracket. Then here within second bracket, you need to give something called second bracket. Maybe suppose say param1. Okay, and you can give comma param2. Okay, and you need to end second bracket. And you can see error message is coming, so you need to import the parameter from the TestNG. Okay, TestNG, not the boost dot command, it will be or the dot TestNG dot annotation. And this parameter can be used after or before test, that does not matter. Okay, after or before test. Now this part is done. Now how I can use this part into the TestNG.xml file through which I will be driving my execution. So here you can go and you can after test or after should you can give the value right here, whatever thing is there. Parameter value you need to give it simply in the TestNG.xml file. Right, I have used two parameters, so I will be using that part only. Okay, so type will be parameter name, and here you need to give the parameter name. What is that? Param1, right? I will be giving param1. Say I am just want to give the value within the double quote, though it is numeric or a integer value, then you can give it double quote. Say 20. Okay, because now I have two parameters, so I can give it two parameter. One is param1, one is param2, and the value is say 10. Now I have given the parameter value. Now, so with these two parameter, I can execute couple of test cases, 10, 20 test cases also, because they are belonging to same one. Okay, it does not matter, even you can change it to C or D also. But that is mapping with that here, param1, and second one is mapping with param2. It does not matter that whatever way you are changing. Suppose I can change it to C also, C and D also, that does not have any impact. Here you need to give it also C plus D. C start D. But that is not any impact, because this C is matching with param A1 and this D is matching with param 2. Here A is mapping with param 1 and param 2. So now param 1 value will be coming here and param 2 value will be coming here. Similarly, for other variables also, the param 1 value will be coming. It does not matter what variable you are defining in the method level, but it is matching with the same parameter. Right? Here also same parameter. So that is the way. Now if you try to execute it, so you could able to see the result, desired result. So it will go for the like addition or multiply or the others divide, right? 20 and 10 add, it will be 200. Divide, it will be 2 based on the alphabetical order. Multiply, it will be 200. 20 plus 10 equal to 30. So now if you go to the console, you could able to see the result, right? Based on the alphabetical order. So it does not matter which order you have written it, it will come based on the alphabetical order. So first is the addition A, 20 plus 10 equal to 30, then the divide D, 20 divided by 2, 10 equal to 2, and then the multiply M, right? A, D and M will become based on the alphabetical order 200. Now say here I am using trying to use two parameter, but I can change it to one parameter because the division part I want to use the same parameter. I want to check with it. That not be a problem. But it will map with the param1 value which will come from the test.xml file. So it will be 20 multiplied by 20. You could see now 400, right? Now what I can do in the addition, right? I can add one more parameter, integer C, later point of time, anytime I can do it, and here I can do it plus C, and I can add one more new parameter as well. So simply copy and simply change it, param 3, or you can give it param 2 also. So in case it is param 3, so you need to give the corresponding value also here. So param 3, maybe suppose say 50. So now it will be executed accordingly. So that is the way. Existing method also you can change it, parameter value also change it, right? Or you can same parameter multiple kind of thing argument you can execute. impacted, right? Now you could see 80. Why? Because 10 plus 20 plus 50 is coming now, because you have trying to pass 3 parameter and you are trying to perform the addition for 3 parameter. So that is the way you can do it. Now parameter can be placed either at the group level, should level, or the test level. So it will not be having any impact. Either you can do it at the should level, or either you can give at the test level. But in case it is available both at the test and should level and value is different, say, okay, so now what value it will take consider? It will consider the first prioritize the value at the test level, and it will discard the value at the should level. Suppose there are 5 parameter, but at the should level maybe you want to just kind of override something, so you can give at the test level, and remaining thing you can give at the should level. So first test level will prioritize and then the should level. And in case one parameter is not available at any place, it will try to get the data from the other should level or the test level. But in case same parameter value is available, same parameter is available with the both the place, your should level will be discarded and your test level will be prioritized. Now you could see, like you could see it is coming from the test level, not the should level, because same parameter value is there, it is coming from the test level, right? 200, 500, all this stuff. So that is the way you can go with the parameterization using TestNG, which is very very I mean pivotal role using TestNG parameterization. Any question? I think yeah, as many, but generally I saw that maybe 8 to 10 people used to follow. There is no limit. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. So that will be covered, okay, in the upcoming session, how we can impact that one. Okay. Then the data provider, right, which is called data driven testing. I was discussing. These are two different. One is the parameters and one is the data driven testing or data provider. So in case I already discussed it, right, you want to create multiple claim policy, or say suppose say you want to search with e-commerce site with multiple variation, right? So that is your objective. You want to log into the site. You want to just give the, let's say, kind of men's, let's say, shirt, jeans, shoes, socks, all this stuff. But it is remaining same. Only just you are varying the data, right? So say women's top, jeans, like sari, all this stuff. But most of the test case is same. Your search condition is different because you are variety with the data. Okay, so how you can do the data driven testing? So in most of the situation, user need to run scenario with different set of data. During that time, it is not possible to write test cases for each set of the data. Instead of that, user can use data provider, which provides data in the form of an array of objects. To run at the rate test multiple times with different input, user can use data provider option present in TestNG. A data provider annotated method always returns an array of objects. It can be any dimensional. Okay, so there might be two dimension. One is the first one will be the number of row, means how many number of iteration you want to perform, and then second one will be column, means how many different element you want to interact for every iteration, or how many different argument you want to pass it. So that is the way, right, data driven testing will happen. So let's see in the real time. Let's comment out all this stuff. So yesterday last season we have created something, right? So this is the part we have written. So I will try to go with that here. Okay. WebDriver at the rate test, I can remove the priority part because only one test case. Just I want to log into the Facebook page. So driver dot get here, and also I need to set up the properties, right? So I need to give that one. setup method and tear down method, right? Before method and after method. Because that will be supported. So this is the for the Chrome driver opening, new Chrome driver maximize delete all cookie, and every time it will be quit the driver. So say I am launching the Facebook page, and I can get or not get, that's fine. After launching the Facebook page, let's open it. After opening the Facebook page, I want to enter the email ID and password. Okay, so let's press F12 button here. Let's identify the element. So email and password field. Okay, so ID equal to email. So what I'll be doing, driver dot find element by dot ID, it is email. That part I can also remove it, that is not required for now. Dot send keys, say test mail, or maybe user 1. Okay, similarly the password field, other field. So what is that password field? Okay, sorry, yeah, password field ID equal to pass. Okay, so ID, it is ID equal to pass. So say password 1. So now if I want to execute it, so that is fine, it will execute and it will enter the email ID password field, and it is just closing the browser. So what I can do, I can maybe remove that comment so that it will not close the browser. So now if I just remove it, execute it, so what will happen, it will enter the email ID and password field. Okay, that is the way it is working. Now in case you want to execute the same test case, maybe more line will be there, just I am giving a simple example. So what you need to do, you need to copy the same code, right, and you need to create one more test, and you need to give the variety of the data. So that is the way you can give it, you can execute it. So you can give it 1, here you can give it 2, all this stuff. But say tomorrow, say email ID got changed to email 1, so you need to place everywhere, right, or password field is changed, right, I need to modify it to different way. So you need to change everywhere, wherever you have copied, right, it will execute two test case. One is user 1 password 1, one is user 2 password 2. But in case you are having 100 test cases, so is it possible to copy it 100 times like that? No, right? Not, because some changes will affect the other test case. So what we'll be doing, we'll be using the data driven approach. So I'll remove the other test case, okay, and we'll be using the data driven approach called DataProvider. So how you can do it? So you need to use DataProvider, and you need to keep that two-dimensional array. Okay, so here what I will be doing, I'll be using it data provider. That is the syntax. You can create a method. I'll be just giving public access modifier and any method name, say get user name and password. That is the method I'm giving, and here that is the way, right, I can write any method. Okay, now I can create a object. Okay, that is already mentioned, you need to create an object, right? So two row, because one is the first will be row will be number of iteration I want to iterate, and second one will be the number of way, right, number of argument, number of field you want to interact. So what I will do, object dimension, that is the one dimension, that is the second dimension. I can create some variable here called data equal to new object. Here you can give, right, say the first one is the row, So I want to iterate for 3 times and 2 is my field. In case you are having 3 field, 4 field, you can give the column change to 4 or 5. And in case instead of 3 times you need to run for 5 times, you can change it to 5 simply. Okay, then now what you can do, that is my variable data, and that is the row, because your row will start. So here row is 3 means 0, 1 and 2, because in everything will start with 0, 1 and right, n minus 1. That is m column. First is row, I can say m. So m means number of iteration, row means number of iteration I want to execute, how many number of time I want to execute, and column means how many field I want to interact, how many argument I want to pass. So that is row 0, column 0, and that is the value you can give it, say user 1. Okay, simply. And then second one, so iteration will be still same, but field will be changed, so second field, so password 1. What, right? Now in case you are having 3 iteration, so you can change it accordingly. So here you can change it to column row 1 means iteration 2, and field will be, column will be same only, right? Because row and column will be same, password 2, user 2. And here third iteration means 2. So that is the way. In case you are having 10, you can change it accordingly also. So your code will be different, and here your data provider part is different. Now here two error is coming. One, I will import the data provider simply, and one, I need to give the return type, because method is access modifier, return type and the method name. What is the return type here? Because it is returning object, right? So it will return object, means it will return data. Then only you can use this, right? Return data. What is data? Returning data. What is data? Data is this variable is object. So that part I can copy and I can return it here. So that is the way you need to write the method in the real time. Now I already written the data provider. So that is my data provider, right? Object is my variable name, and row is my number of iteration, and column is my number of argument I want to interact. Now what I need to do? I need to go to the test cases here, and I need to go check here data type here data provider pcaps equal to, you need to give double quote, and you need to give the name of the method whatever you have written. This is my name of the method, so you need to map it accordingly. Okay, that is your second task. First you can write the test cases, then you can create the data provider, and third you can match it, and fourth is that now I am not hard coding any value. Instead of that, I am providing this part, right? So here, whatever way you match, you can pass to argument. Just similar way I have showed, right? What is the argument? This is a string type. String, say uname, and again another string, comma password. Okay. Now this will match here, so you no need to give it bracket, and this will match with the password field. That is the way you can map it. So now my part is done. Now if I want to execute it, right, from the test case level also, class level, it will still execute, or from the data from the X, you could see the first username password 1, second time it is opening username 2 password 2, third time it is opening username 3 password 3, next time. So what is the benefit? Your code is different here, right? Let's close them. Your code is different completely here. In case you need to change any code, you will be updating it here, and in case you want to change any data, they will be updating it here. That is called data driven testing. That part next session I will show you how you can drive the similar testing using Excel sheet. You are not mentioning anything here. You suppose say now I want to go for 4 variation, so you will simply drive it 4, and you can add one more row data, one more iteration data, so it will be 3, because 4 minus 1 3, and you can give it user 4 password 4. So now what we will do, same test case will run for 4 times. I did not touch anything in the code. I am just simply updating the data provider data part, how many variation I want to execute. In case I am 100 times, so I will be a big 100 times. That next part you can see how with the help of the Excel sheet I can simplify the testing. and from the Excel sheet I can how I can change the data accordingly easily. Okay, this is still some sort of complex, but Excel will be more easy. So you could see it is running for 4 times. So that is the way n number of time you can execute it. And tomorrow suppose say I just want to execute for 2 times because that day I want to just say the basic one. So simply I can comment out or remove this data sheet, right? And here I can change it to 2. So two iteration and 2 fields. So similarly day after tomorrow there is a 3 field. Instead of email, password, and another thing you need to give it called username. So there might be 3 field. So you can change the column also accordingly. Now I will execute for 2 times because my row is 2. So I want to iterate for 2 times. So that is the way data driven testing using data provider will be very important here, and you can do easily with the help of the TestNG. So the main difference between passing data from data provider method and passing data from the TestNG XML file, by using data provider, user can pass multiple set of data using data provider, and test method will run each set of data. But using parameter of TestNG.xml file, it is not possible to set pass multiple set of data, right? For the data provider or data driven testing, same test case can be executed, but you are not giving the data in the TestNG.xml file. Whereas for the parameterization, you are right giving the data using testng.xml file, and you cannot change the data for a single variable or argument multiple time, but data driven testing it is possible. Any questions? Yeah, yes, not be a problem, because duplicate value also, suppose say in case you are having 10 field, 9 field can be same also, right? Suppose see username 1 and password 1 you can give it, no worry, because it will not constrain on the value, it is just constrain on the logic. Okay, so whatever way you will be doing, 10 test case you can run with the same data also, because your requirement is to create 10 test data with same thing. Sometimes it might be required, right? You could see it will be giving username password one only. That is the reason. Yeah, sometimes requirement is also same, right? I want to create same thing with 10 times, that is fine, not be a problem. Yeah, so that is the logic. Okay, data you can give by your own choice. Any other questions? Are you able to get it right? It looks very easy, but whenever practicing, it will be tough. Yeah, so that is the reason. Yes. So that is the way I always try to give the logic. So just you need to, because these are not very easy, guys, frankly speaking. Okay. Okay. So you just need to give that time to practice it, to go through all the document also help you, videos will help you. As still you are having anything, right? I will definitely there to solve the problem. Yeah. Okay. Last few crucial topic is called listener. So terms meanings listeners means you are listening, right? Code is listening something. So sometimes user wish to modify the behavior of TestNG during script development, and this can be done by use interface. So what is interface? Can anyone tell me? It's already covered in Java. So whatever covered in Java, you will be able to implement it. Most of the thing in the upcoming video. No, interface is 100% abstraction, right? So that right there will be no method body will be there, just simply will be calling them and you can add your body accordingly. It is 100% abstracted nature. It will give you holistic view so that you will not miss anything to implement, right? So these interfaces which help the user to do so are known as listener. As the name suggests, listener primary task is to listen to an event, define and react according to that. The main purpose for which listeners are used by the programmer is to create logs and create custom report according to specific scenario defined. There are a lot of listeners available, but primarily we will be using IShoot and ITest listener. Okay. Each listener has specific methods that are overwritten. Most popular listener and the methods which are overwritten are like ITest and IShoot. Even nowadays mostly I-test listener. In the I-test listener, there are a lot of method on start, on finish, on test start, on test failure, on test skip, on test success. These are the method will be there available. So what does mean by on start? Every time your method will be executed, it will give you the on start, and that part body will be called. On finish means at the right method level only one time, right at the this again it will be executed whenever you are any kind of class is instantiated. This will be executed only one time. And on test start, whenever you are and starting any test method, that will be executed. On test passed success means whenever your test case will be passed, then automatically it will be called. And on test failure, whenever your test case will fail, that part will be called. And on test skipped, whenever your test case will be skipped, automatically that will be called. That is the beauty of the listener. So based on your test execution status, automatically the remaining relevant method will be called automatically. Your no manual intervention required. That way listener will understand, listen fast, and then will act accordingly. Okay. What is the way, real time way to implement it? So before that, let's go to the Eclipse here. Let's comment out this part, test cases. Okay, let's create some test cases. So just I will simply return it couple of stuff. Okay, I'll just copy it. So there are four test cases I have tried to return. One is simply pass, one is failure, and other will be skipped, and other is also failure. Because it is dependent on test 2 which is also failing, right? This is not matching. Okay, now simply if I save it and if I try to let's close this part. If I am trying to run from the testng.xml file, okay, let's remove this parameter, otherwise it might create some error. Now if you try to run it, so there will be four test cases. One will be passed, two will be fail, and one will be skipped, right? So based on the thing. So first one is getting passed because there is no assertion failure. Second one is fail, and third one is dependent on the test 2 which is fail. That is the reason third. Third is getting skipped, and fourth one is also failed because of the assertion failure. So that is the way it is coming, right? But in case my test case is passed, I want to print something. In case my test case is fail, I want to print something. In case my test case is say tomorrow getting skipped, I want to print something. If you hard code everything anything, right? So today your assertion is failed, but tomorrow in case test case is passed, then you need to again change it. But in case you are having 1000 test cases, not possible manually. So I want to automate the process. So that is the way assassin plays a pivotal role. Sorry, that listener. So what you can do, you can create a class. Okay. So say test listener. Like I can give it. No need to select public static void method. Here I will be calling that iTest listener interface, right? iTest listener interface. So how can I do it? You need to use implement keyword because class to interface is implement keyword. Class to class is extend keyword. Interface to interface extend keyword. Implements iTest. In case you do not know, press Ctrl Shift iTest listener, which is coming from the org.testng. Now, in case you are importing, you are implementing any interface, so automatically all the unimplemented methods should be come. But here some problem is there in the TestNG, so that is the reason is no unimplemented method is not coming. Actually, when you implement an interface, automatically all the unimplemented methods should be come here, and you should need to implement. So that is the way some defect is there in the testing itself. So there is an option, right? Yeah, there's an option called source. Okay, then override or implement methods. So if you select, you could see now all the method is getting coming here. Select it and simply click on OK. Now automatically you would able to see all the method is coming. So that is the bug, right? So sometime in case not coming, that is the only option you can get it. Okay, now this part I can simply remove it, and wherever I want to change the body I can do it. So maybe for now I am not giving the body. It is not means that you are not implementing. You have implemented, but you are not changing the body. You are taking a default one. That is fine. So that part I am changing it. So you could see whatever method I was talking about, all the methods are coming. So you have to execute everything. In case you are removing something, right? You are trying to remove something, it will throw the error. Save it. Okay, here it is not throwing, but actually it should throw the error, but because of the problem, right? The known issue. Okay, now I can give some body wherever I want to use, whatever I want to use. So say here I want to on stage start means in case test case is starting, right? I want to just execute them. It is the method level. This is method level. That is the reason it is giving you ITest result. So say TestNG method started. That part I want to do. I want to concatenate plus, right? What is the variable result? Sorry, not here. After the space, I want to concatenate dot get name. I want to get the name of the test case. Okay. See, this is the whenever test case will be method will be starting. Next one, success mean whenever test case will be passed. TestNG method passed, method will be passed. So failure, whenever it will be failure only, right? So I can change it to fail. Okay, whenever it will be skipped only, that will be executed whenever test method skipped. And other part I no need to implement it because it is a different one. And these are the couple of stuff. Timeout, other stuff is there, that is not really important. And this you could see on start. It is ITest context means at the class level. So here what I need can do, right? TestNG class started instead of method. That will be executed only one time at the class level. And here you can change the variable. This is the context variable. You need to change it because this is the context level and these are the method level. Context means at the class level, and these are part is called method level. Here finished. Okay, so the context level will be executed only one time at the class level. In case you are having 3 class, so 3 times executed. But the other part, based on your testing observation, pass, fail, skipped, all this stuff, it will be executed at the method level or at the test level. So that is the difference. So the second part is done. I have created a class with multiple test cases passed, fail, and skipped, and I have also associated this one, the classes to my TestNG.xml file. Then I have implemented listener. Then what is the way you can implement the listener? There are two ways. Okay. So first is you need to use @listener, right? Package name and then listener dot class name, right? At the method level. Okay. So I can change it and give it. That is the one way. I can give it whatever way, whatever method I want to run it, right? At the before the class name I can give it. So before the class name here I can just give it before the class, so it will be implemented all the class. What is that? Listener. Okay, so let's see what the error is coming. I need to import the listener. Okay, listener's pronouns are not correct. ERS LISTEN ERS. Yeah, it's coming. Now what I need to give it here first, package name, right? What is the package name? Training dot. If you press dot, automatically your test listeners will be coming because that is coming from the training package dot class. That is the step. And now if you want to execute from the TestNG.xml file, you could see your test case will be executed fast, fail, and skipped, but your listeners will be executed according to the test execution status. Okay, the context will be executed only one time. You could see here TestNG class started, right? Whatever I have given it at the context level. TestNG class started it only one time. It is not, otherwise it is not, that wording is coming. And finish will be also executed at the last because that is the context level, right? Whatever I have given. But the method level part you could see every time it is coming. TestNG method started, right? TestNG method started, all this whatever way, because it is at the method level. Whenever TestNG will be starting, it will be executed called on stage start, and after that your test case got passed. Okay, so automatically it is calling on test success. You could see on test success part method body it is calling because the test case got passed. Method 1 got passed, so it is calling TestNG method passed, and this is the method name test. Now TestNG 2 started, but what is TestNG 2? Sorry, method 2, it is getting fail. That is the reason automatically it is calling the fail on test failure part. You could see TestNG method fail and method name. And third method, fourth method is starting, it is also getting fail. Automatically it is calling the same. And third method, it is getting skipped here because it is dependent on a test 2 which is getting fail, so it will be skipped. So it is calling automatically the body from the on test skipped method from the listener. You could see it is working accordingly. So that is the way, right? With the help of the listener class, I can change the behavior of the test case based on the actual execution. So now tomorrow it case got passed, right? So automatically, in case I change it to pass, so what will happen? Now my 3 test case will be passed. Okay, only there will be no skipped at all, and there is one failure, last one. So now if you execute it again, you will be seeing the differences in the result, because now 3 times passed will be called and 1 time fail will be called, and no skipped will be called. You could see, right? Passed, method 1 passed, method 2 also passed, method 4 fail, method 3 passed, but there is no mention of failure skipped because there is no test case skipped, so why it will be called? So that is the one way, right? You can implement listeners. Other way is you need to remove that one, okay, and you need to add this tag into the before the test name. So what I will do, I will just simply comment it out, and I will simply go to the testng.xml file, and before the test name I will implement that tag whatever is already mentioned in my PPT, this particular tag after the suit name. So what is that package name? Is training. And what is the listener class name? Test listener. So that is the one way. So whatever way you want to implement, you can do it. Now if you can run it again, same way it will give the result. There will be no change in result, but this is the two way to implement the listeners. Okay, you could see it is working fine. Okay, so this is the way you can implement the listeners. The next one, so you already seen, right? You, in case there is a failure, I don't want to execute all the past test cases again and again and again, right? Only I want to execute the failed test case. So there is an option called, right, from the report test output folder, there is an option you can execute it manually and it will execute only the failed test case. But in case I want to automate the whole process, right, that I will not be doing any manual intervention. So in case any failure, false failure, right, because of the synchronization, because of the timeout issue, or because of some sort of internet connectivity issue, because of system failure, right, I want to execute the false failure test case couple of number of time automatically. So what I can do, I can again implement another listeners, and with the help of the IRetryAnalyzer listeners, I can execute those test cases like n number of times based on the configuration. So what I will do, I will try to execute only the failed test case, right, n number of times based on my kind of desired expectation. So what I will do, I will, so test method will be failed because of many reasons like uncertain behavior of the application, network issue, right? To overcome the false failure, user might need to re-execute the failed test cases. So when a test case fail, there is a manual way available, right, called this one, and you can execute it the failed test case way, right? TestNG fail XML. So this is called without listener. You could see now if you just try to execute, only failed test case will be executed, which is the test method 4, right? It will be executed, not all the past test case. But if you are running using the TestNG.xml file, it will execute all the test cases again and again and again, right, in number of time. But I don't want to invest my time on the first one because that is already passed. I want to execute only the failed test case, so that will be terrible. But if you execute it here, only the failed test case will be executed, but that is manually, right? You need to identify, you need to just click all this stuff, but I want to automate the process, and I want to automate it like n number of time I want to execute it. So what we can do, you can right click again here, you can create a class called retry class. Okay, I want to retry it. So what is the interfaces? IRetryAnalyzer. So I will implement I retry analyzer interface. Now you could see this is the interface I sign, right? As and when you are implementing the interface, you could see there is a error message coming, right? Automatically you need to implement all the unimplemented method. That was the thing I was telling in Java also session. Okay, so here couple of code I have written. You can just copy it. No need to just worry about that. Okay, so you can simply just copy it. I will explain it. So I'm just giving the counter, right? How many number of time I want to execute the fail test case, only the fail test case. So I'm given some sort of initial value called 0 and max try is 5. So it will execute 0 1 2 3 4 5, means 6 times. If you change it to 1, so it will be only executed 1 to 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so now this is the result will be matching based on the thing. So this is the current try. If the current try less than maximum try, so it will try to implement, I mean, add one by one until it is matching. So that is the way. In case any test case is got fail only, so those test cases will be executed in that 5 times. 1 to 5 means 1 2 3 4 5 means 5 times. If you give 0, so means 0 to 5 means 6 times it will be executed. So that is the way you can automate the whole process. So that is the next part. So you have write your test cases, you have retry, right? You have created a class called retry, and then you can listener part, that part you can remove it. Now for the IRetryAnalyzer, what you need to do, right? After that, whatever test cases fail only, okay, you want to execute, what you need to do, you need to go to the test cases level, only one time activity, and you can keep something called here retry analyzer, and equal to you need to give called the um, this is the class name dot class. That's the only thing you need to do. So you can execute all the test cases, but what is the difference? In case test case is passed, right, that will not be executed again and again and again. Okay, only the failure test case, it will be executed again and again and again. So that is the beauty of that retry analyzer. So I have tried to implement for all the test cases, but it will only execute, re-execute only the failed test case. It will not re-execute the skipped or the passed one. That is the beauty. Means I am trying to execute only the failure one, not the skipped or passed one. Now you could, if you just try to execute from the test, so the failed test case will try to execute for 6 times. In the real time, at that 6 number of iterations, in case your entire connectivity good, synchronous is solved, automatically will pass the test case. Now you could see. Okay, you could see 3 pass and 1 failure, but number of iterations is 9. Why? Because here in case it is same reason, it will be just simply skip the test case, otherwise it will try to execute and it will try to pass it. That is the concept of retry analyzer. You could see the test method 4 run for 6 times, 2 3 4 5 6, one time fail and remaining time skip because they are same issue. Now you can, in case you are changing it IRetryAnalyzer from 1 to 10, so that method will run for 10 times, only it will affect the failure test case. Now your whatever method got failed, it will run for 10 times. So you are automating the process, you are not doing any manual intervention. That is the beauty. Here you could see 4 method. Why the total run is 13? Because my method, whatever failed method, it's tried to run for 10 times. One time failure, remaining time skip, right? And in the remaining iteration might be passed, so automatically remaining one will not be run. Until your test case getting passed, the remaining iteration will be simply discarded. So that is the beauty of the retry analyzer interfaces as well. So any questions, I will take a pause. Okay, these are the two important interfaces right from the TestNG will be using in the real time as well. Okay, sometime in case those right? That part is not coming, right? You need to, you know the how to do it, right? That is the only option you can do it. So you can implement all the unimplemented method. Actually, in last 6 to 7 months before, I have just faced that problem. And I was not find out, right, what the problem is coming. So that is the another solution I got, right? And that is the way, right, we can implement all the unimplemented method. Okay. Sometimes it not means throwing an error, but most of the time definitely is a important concept of Java, right? The interfaces. So that all the method will be 100% abstract in nature, means there will be no body at all. So you need to implement means you can give the body, but you need to use them at the class whenever you are implementing all the unimplemented method, and it will change the behavior accordingly. Means based on the execution status, in case it is a pass, fail, skip, automatically that relevant method will be called. It is not calling that thing. But in case you are hard coded, tomorrow, today is pass, tomorrow is might be fail, so it will not be changing accordingly. But here, based on the execution time, it is changing. And for the failure one, in case you are using IRetryAnalyzer, you can able to give how many number of time you want to iterate only for the fail. Though you can use it for all the test case level, but it will simply not be valid for the pass or the skipped one. Whenever test case will fail, that time it will only play the role, and it will be running for n number of time whatever you are giving it, based on the like min and max condition. So in case you are giving min is 1, max is 10, it will wait for 10 time. In case you are giving 0 to 5, it will wait for 6 more time, and in that time it will try to run it. And in case your any iteration is getting passed, and remaining iteration not be executed. So that is the concept of these two kind of interfaces or listeners. The last very important topics, right? You already know what is the importance of TestNG framework, or what is the importance of Selenium also in the real time. So Selenium supports parallel distributed testing. Means, so in case I want to execute the test case parallelly, right, parallel different system might be tough because you need to do all the configuration. But in case instead of one right thread, I can use multiple thread. So you already seen last Java last session I covered the concept of thread. So what is the thread? Thread means concurrent execution or simultaneous execution. In case I've given an example, right? In case you are having a box, sweet box, right? Suppose say any of your friend, right, just return to your office from some vacation or some marriage, or maybe our daughter or son birth, right? So he just bring a packet of sweet, maybe 100 sweets, okay, and he asked, right, you to go there and to grab all the sweets, but you are the only person, you can maybe grab 10 sweets. But like, so you have he has, so what he can do, he can call the team, maybe 20 member, 30 member team, what can go, what after that what can happen. So 30 member team can go to the room, and everyone can pick up a switch, so immediately 30 switch will be gone, right? So means parallelly 30 resources are working. So out of 30 resources, two are like maybe some sugar, maybe, right, having some sugar, they don't want to eat and use it, but it is not affecting the other, right? So automatically 25, whoever is want to eat, 25 people can, associates can take 25 sweet. After that, as soon as they finish, another 25 they can eat, like that. That's few person can go slow, few person can go fast, like that. So that is the way, as and when some resources is completing their work, immediately he will pick up the other. Okay, it does not matter or does not have any dependence on the other resources. Okay, and few resources can sit ideal also, that will not affect. So that is the way thread also in Java play an pivotal role to support the concurrent execution of the parallel execution, right? Parallelism or multi-threading in software term is defined as the ability of the software operating system or program to execute multiple parts or subcomponent of another program simultaneously. TestNG allow the test to run in parallel or multi-threaded mode. This means that based on the test suite configuration, different threads are started simultaneously and the test method are executed in them. This gives a user a lot of advantage over normal execution, mainly reduction of execution time and ability to verify the multi-threaded code. So how you can do the parallelism? So you need to go to the testing.xml file, and you need to give something called parallel equal to method, test, or the class label, or you need to give the thread count. So let's go here. Let's comment out this part. let's comment out these test cases. And I have written some code. I'll be using that one for the parallel testing. So this is the 4 test case I have tried to execute. I will try to execute. Okay, so this is the 4 test case. What error is coming? Okay, so you could see. So what is the first test case? My first test case, right? Enter username and password in the Facebook page. I want to execute using the Chrome driver. I am opening the Facebook page. I am entering the email and password. Right, I am printing the title and quitting it. This is my first test case. Second test case, I want to open the simply Facebook page. So I am just opening the Facebook page using Chrome driver and printing the title. Third test case, I am using Firefox driver, means G code driver, right? Firefox browser. So I want to open the Google page and I am printing the title. So it is using Firefox driver, means I can test with multiple driver, multiple browser as well by parallelly. And fourth one, I am opening the ready page. I am just getting the title. So this is my fourth test case. Now if I want to simply try to run it from here, it will do what will happen. It will do one by one execution, right? Execution will happen one by one. Okay, so one by one based on the alphabetical order. And sometimes one page might take some time to load it properly, and then it will be execution will happen. So ready page is taking a huge time. Okay, you could see, right? It will execute one by one based on the alphabetical order. Okay, so anyway, I'm closing it. So yeah, you could see this happening one by one. Facebook ready page, all this stuff. Okay, and after that, it will open for the Firefox browser as well, right? It is opening and it is lodging for the Google page. Okay, it is quitting the browser. So that is the way. One failure because I have forcefully closed the page. Okay, instead of the Google page, like maybe ready page taking some time, maybe say again I can go with other page. Apple page also used, maybe one more Google page. Okay, so that is the way I can do it. Even if I go from the testing.xml file also, and if I want to try to run it, like it will again go for the one-to-one execution. Once is done, then it will go for the second one, then third one, fourth one. Like in case you are having n number of tests like that, you can do it. But generally, we should not use more than 5 parallel thing. Otherwise, it will again start slow out your thing, right? Press. So you could see 4 test cases got executed 4 fast. There is no failure, right? Firefox page also, Firefox browser also got opened. Now in case I want to do the execution simultaneously, what I need to do, I need to change it here, right? So what is the thing I have given? You could see the parallel equal to method, and you need to give a thread count. So simply I will just copy that line, and here I can change the suite name also, parallel testing, like that, and I will copy it and I will just change it here at the testng.xml file level. So parallel equal to method level, and thread count I can give it 3. So 3 thread will work parallelly. So instead of one resource, 25 members came to eat your suite, like that. So here 4 method, but 3 it will try to execute 3 thing at the same time. So once 3 is complete, then another one will be executed. So that is the way, right? I just want to give you the example. So now if you try to execute, you could able to see 3 test case, it will try to execute parallelly at the same time. So that is the reason you will not able to visualize the execution at well, and it will, that is the way it will save the time, the real time, and multiple browser as well. It does not matter. So that is called parallel testing, or you could see multiple browser is opening at the same time. It does not matter other execution is pass or fail or opening or not at all. So you will not able to see some of the execution, because in after that the remaining is, you could see how fast the execution it is compared to the other. So definitely it will save the time, but result is same only. So you could see here, in case you are not able to visualize, you could see comb started successfully, comb started successfully, right? Parallelly, it is trying to run it based on the thread count 2. In case you are giving 2 thread count, so it will execute 2 using 2 thread. So that is the way you can do it execution. Okay, so 2 test cases is getting executed. After the 2 is over, it will again to open for 2 more, right? So that is the way you are not able to see the real time execution because 2 is doing parallelly. So that is called parallel execution using multiple browser and multiple right combination. Okay, so I'll just go through once more time, then I will take any question in case you are having. So group actually in the real time, right? So in case you are having n number of test cases, so you need to group with some testing type application or other, right? So that whenever some testing is required pertaining to some condition, you can filter out the execution with the help of the TestNG.xml file, and you can do the execution. It will save the time and effort, right, for the actual real time. And in case you are having some failed test cases, right? Suppose in case you are having 100 test cases, 500 test cases, 1000 test cases, sometimes some test cases get fail because of some false failure, and you want to repeat the exam only for the failed one. So there is two options. One option is that you can go to the test output folder. There will be options called testng-fail.xml file. You can open it, and using that you can run only the failed test case. And another one is listener is there, through which you can also drive the automated multiple execution for the failed test case. Parameter is nothing. Suppose say in case, right, you are having multiple test cases, but those multiple test cases same parameter you need to use, you can do the parameterized testing. And data driven testing with the help of the data provider. In case same test case you want to repeat it with the same set of data or multiple variety of the data, you can use the data provider or data driven testing using TestNG as well. Listener is nothing, right? In case you want to change the behavior, right, of your execution based on the actual testing type, right, you can use the listener. So there are listener like ITest listener, ISUD listener is there, right, with which, right, you can try to generate some report log or other stuff, right, based on the testing actual type, pass, fail, or skip, all this stuff. And using IRetryAnalyzer, right, you can, in case you want to run the failure test multiple times, you can set the configuration automatically in number of time it will be executed. And in case some of the time false failure, and next time, right, the failure, false failure of the internet connectivity speed got optimized or maximized, the next time it will pass, so it will not go for the remaining iteration. But your, it will not affect the past and the skip test case, only it will try to execute in number of time only the failed test case only. Parallel testing is nothing. In case you want to use multiple thread, so that multiple execution can be done parallelly, right, instead of one by one, right, based on the thread count, it will try to execute the test cases parallelly. That is the way it will help the time savings definitely. Alright, so you will not able to visualize the testing, but parallel testing is possible using multiple thread count and using different parallel mode like test level, method level, class level, and instance level. So that's all from today's session, guys. Thank you.